Hi guys, so I'm so excited to do this video today. I've been wanting to do a video like this for a longest time because I'm usually doing hair and makeup videos, but today I thought let's just have a combo, let's just talk about some things. So the title of this video is 10 things to think about before dating in 2019. I wanted to get into some teas and basically just have a good rant about some things that is going on in the dating scene. Now, it's not to say we should give up, girls. It's just to say that these are some things you should think about before dating. So when you date, you already know like what you think about these very common situations. So, so already, I'm laughing at this one because number one is go for someone that you actually want. Sometimes someone approaches you that you don't necessarily think of is your type, and then you might go out with them, you might go on a date, and you know, you go on a date, you go on a few dates, and then you realise halfway through that maybe they're not your type because they're just not your type, and you're not really liking them like you should because you don't like them like that, and that actually you were flattered that they approached you, but really you don't really know that you like them. Do you actually like the person who's approached you? And are you going on this date because you want to, or you go on this date just because you've been asked? What you don't want to do is go on so many dates and he moves in for a kiss and you're just like... Number two is response time. Everyone has one of these. It's a phone, mobile phone, right here. It's how we communicate with each other. But you have to decide, but think before you start dating someone, yeah? What is an acceptable response time for you? Because 3 to 5 business days response is, if that's not acceptable to you, then you need to really just hammer that in your head and know and say like, that's not okay. If you're waiting for a response 2 days later, you said, hey hun, how are you? And he's got back 2 days later saying, you're right, then you just need to say like, hun, this ain't working, your attention, your time span ain't really here, so I'ma head out. You don't need to be angry at him, you don't need to ask him why, you don't need to ask him what it's been da 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 da. After that he might say, oh, I'm so sorry, I've been so busy at work. And if you find that that's an acceptable response, then that's fine. If you find that that's not an acceptable response, then keep it moving. But you have to understand that this is all within your power. Just because they've said that, oh, it's about work, if you want to accept it, then you can. But if you don't want to accept that response, you don't have to. Number 3 is intentions. Now, there's been so many times that you might have dated somebody and they've said, you know, yeah, I don't know what I'm looking for right now, I don't know what I'm looking for, yeah. This don't know what I'm looking for, yeah. Just make sure it's not going on for too long, because do you know why? You'll start realising later on that they don't know now, they don't know a year later, they don't know 5 years later, they don't know 10 years later, and you're just stuck here knowing what you want, but they have already said to you multiple times that they don't know. So you need that answer. You don't need to ask on the first date, maybe. But I'd say within the first month you need to ask like what's the situation, what is it that you're looking for? Because remember, when you're first dating someone as well, you're just getting to know them. You don't need to interrogate them, you don't need to ask them, you know the security questions that soon, but you know you do want to basically have some sort of idea as to, you know. And you'd think that if you're on a date, that this is like a standard thing nowadays, that if you're on a date that means they want to be in a relationship. It doesn't mean that. It no longer means that in 2019. It just means that they like you, they're taking you out on a date, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're interested in a relationship. So you do need to have that conversation somewhere in the first month. So number 4 is communication and quality time. Everybody has a different understanding of communication and quality time, in the sense that everyone has a different understanding as to how much communication or how much quality time needs to be spent with their partner. Now, if you find that, you know, for you, for example, you want to see them twice a week and you want them to text you every morning, every afternoon, and at least one call a day, then that is your standard of communication and quality time spent. Now, for the guy, he might think that actually texting you once a day is enough, and meeting maybe every 2 weeks on the weekend is enough. And he just basically is like, that's all that time I have for you. If you don't feel like that's good enough for you, that's again, it's your decision. We should stop being angry at the guy. We should just start to understand that it's our decision. Oh, another thing to think about before you're dating somebody is to really look at how the guy manages his time management. If he is someone who's telling you, you know, for example, they keep this has happened, like someone saying like, okay, I'm gonna meet you later at 9 o'clock, and then it gets to 8 o'clock, for example, and they're telling you, oh no, you know what, I can't make it anymore because I've got this and this to do. Everybody has busy schedules, right? And every now and then it might happen that you might have to cancel and reschedule. But sometimes it becomes a constant thing where it just starts to look like they just don't have time for you. It can either mean that they're just so busy and they haven't got time for a relationship at all, or even dating at the moment. And usually that's something that you'd expect them to say, like, oh, actually, I haven't really got time for this. I just can't put in the time. That it's not fair to you. They won't say that, hun. They will keep you stringing along, because that wouldn't be beneficial to them. But they're not really thinking about you. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you find that actually their time management is all over the place and they don't really seem to have any time for you, or they can't fit you into their busy schedule, that's another thing to also think about when you're dating. This one is like a really, really sensitive topic, and I really hope my wording is on point for this. I'm actually just gonna... This topic, money spent. This is number 6, money spent. Now, who should pay on the date? No one knows. In 2019, no one knows. You know, back in the day, it was always a given. Every time you go on a date, a guy would pay and the girl would attend, and after a few dates, the guy would still pay, and then you would get married and he would still pay, and that was how it was. Gender roles have changed. So who should pay on a date? Personally, I think that a guy should pay on a date in the beginning stages. At the same time as well, guys, you don't have to take a woman somewhere really expensive. It's not like you don't have to. You could just take her somewhere nice, just somewhere middle level, grounded, not anywhere too expensive. If you're dating someone that's really high maintenance, maybe that girl is not for you. But as far as paying on the first date, I think that a guy should pay on the first couple of dates. Then a girl should offer. A girl should always offer, because at the end of the day, what you've got to realise is that no one has to pay for any of your stuff. From when you're old enough, you've passed 18, you're a grown adult woman, you could pay for your own food. You understand? But if you're on a date, your date should want to pay for your food and for the date, because seen as the person who's asked the person on the date should pay for the date. That's it. But most times out of 10 it's the guy, because the guy's the one that usually asks you on a date, or asks to, you know, to be in your company, ask for your number, therefore you can ask to pay on the date. However, this is what I also agree, when you're actually in a relationship, I think it's fair that you just would want to basically both pay for dates. You'd both want to pay your contributions. You should both want to do nice things for each other, take each other out. So number 7 is personalities. What kind of personality do you have? And what kind of personality do you think would be the kind of person that you'd want to spend a lot of your time with? So a lot of the time I feel like girls go out with guys because they look good and they're attractive. But is their personality attractive? Because if they're attractive physically but they're not attractive in their personality, for example, they're grumpy, they're moany, they're not positive, they're not somebody who's gonna like uplift you in difficult situations. Some people are just like that. Think about what kind of personality it is that you're actually teaming up with here. Number 8, compliments and admiration. A lot of women, like, they find that when they're dating someone, they're not really getting any compliments or any sort of admiration. They're not really getting like a vibe of them. Some women are just generally, they want more, like they seek more validation in others, and other women seek less. For example, I almost cringe whenever someone's like, you're so beautiful, you're so good looking, I just love your hair. it almost becomes cheesy because it's the same stuff all the time. It's always like, oh, you're so beautiful, oh, you're so cute. And then some women really like it. Some women really like to tell them, oh, your outfit looks amazing, you look amazing. But if this is something you're requiring in a guy, they're not automatically going to know these things. So you need to kind of like, you know, say if that's what you want. Or if someone's naturally saying that, they're saying, oh, I don't do that, I don't do all that compliment stuff, then boy, you just need to decide whether that's you or that's not you. Number 9, this is very, very important. Open and honest or mind games. Now, some people are more mind games based. For example, I'll give you an example. Some women, when they don't feel like they're getting enough attention from the guy that they're seeing, they will ignore them for a week, or they will play like certain mind games, like change their display picture on WhatsApp multiple times so that you notice it, or they may put something up on their Insta stories to make you maybe think that maybe they're talking about you indirectly or non-indirectly. You can either just do your mind games and do little games like that, like changing your picture on WhatsApp so they recognise you more, anything to catch attention without actually saying that they're mad that they're not getting enough attention. Girls, the power is ours, yeah? It's up to us to say that we like something, we don't like it, we want change, we don't want change. The power is there. Just because the guy usually takes a lead in the dating thing doesn't mean we have no say in how we want things to go. So if you're not okay with something and there's something you need to address, for example, you don't feel like you're getting enough attention, you should just be open and honest and say. And it doesn't need to come out complainy, because delivery is so important. You could either say it like this: to be honest, yeah, I'm not really, getting enough attention from you. So obviously, you're da-da-da-da-da. So this is the first thing we'll do. First of all, we'll have bare attitude, girl, and that is not gonna run. You have to think about the way that they're gonna receive it. If you talk to them with bare attitude, you've got a screw-up face, you look ratty, and you've also assumed, you're telling them how they are, and you've assumed things about them. You're telling them about they're probably talking to other girls and all this stuff like that. They're not going to receive that very well. And I can understand it. I know where the frustration comes from, because you're just constantly thinking, duh, this is a standard thing. Of course, attention is a requirement of dating. But, you know, unless you say it in a calm, collected manner, you will not get any result. So even though you're going to feel like, oh my God, this guy thinks I'm an idiot. What you need to portray is this. Imagine this is him. Hi Joshua. Hi. How have you been all week? Yeah, really good. So yeah, there was something I want to talk to you about. Oh, what was that? Oh, basically, I just wanted to say that, you know, it's been a good week for me, and I've really thought about you this week. Have you thought about me this week? Yeah, I thought about you every day, babe. Basically, I feel like you haven't really paid that much attention to me, like, this week, and, you know, it's really starting to, like, make me feel like you're not really interested. And this is when you would say, so, you know, do you feel like you're putting in enough, like, energy, or, like, how do you feel about how, he might say, you know what, babe, yeah, I don't know, I feel like I put in enough energy, to be honest. Or he might say, oh, okay, understand. Or he might say, nah, well, I don't know, I feel like I messaged you loads. So you can either joke it off, he can either say, yeah, and then not do it. Or he can either say, yeah, I agree, I can try to do better and do more. Either way, do you know what, girl? If you manage to get that across in a calm, collected way, you should be proud of yourself just from that, because you have said it, you have put it out there, and you have managed to express yourself to that person and let them know exactly how you feel. Well done, girl. Number 10 is this. Be careful with this term, benefit of the doubt. Now, benefit of the doubt is when you might be dating someone and you just keep giving them benefit of the doubt, aka ignoring the red flags. So if, for example, a guy is constantly in a down mood and you've just given it the benefit of the doubt that today is just a bad day, but then these days turn on for like 9 days in a row, or maybe every Friday, Saturday, Sunday he's just not in a good mood, then you have to start to acknowledge that this benefit of the doubt is not really benefit of the doubt, that is just how they are. We like to think the best of people. We like to give people a benefit of the doubt, and you should give people a benefit of the doubt. But at the same time, if you can see that as a consistent pattern, it is what it is sometimes. It just is what it is. And the worst thing is to, to vent to your friends and not ever mention it to the guy that you're actually dating, because you're not going to get anything resolved. Anyways, that was 10 things to think about before you start dating in 2019. It is now coming to the end of this year, so let's hope and pray that the next year will be a better year for dating. Anyways, guys, comments below, please let me know what you guys think, any experiences that you've been having, just write below, or any topics you want me to explore or figure out, or anything, or just anything basically. Let me know. Honestly, dating is hard out here nowadays. And yeah, this has been a fun video for me. That I really like this one. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.